Come on in, family. Come on in. Come on in. What's going on? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So listen, man. We are having a phenomenal conversation in and around the topic of masculinity. The alpha male, the sigma male, the beta male, the simp male. I'm telling you, it is amazing on how culturally people are generating titles and deciding on what a man is. And it's amazing to me, interesting to me, the different generation or age ranges view these different cultural characteristics of man differently. I've been a part of conversations over the last week as it relates to, is there a difference between the alpha male and the masculine male, as an example? So it's just really interesting. But here's what my passion in my heart is. And my passion in my heart is to get information into the hands of those that are going to do something with it. I'm connected to, I'm passionate about getting information to men to raise up a godly nation of strong, consistent, integral, loyal men. I have been on this planet 59 years. I know I don't look like I'm 59 years. Thank you so much. And so I'm seeing the need for education in around what is a man. Now, listen, just because a man pays the bill doesn't necessarily make him head of household. I told my wife that if you can make the money that I make, I will gladly stay home. I'm going to get some negative comments about that maybe, but I'm serious about that. Her and I had this understanding. Hey, listen, if you can make the money that I make in a marketplace, girl, send me home. I'll take care of, make sure the dishes are washed, these domestic chores. Who said that washing the dishes is a woman's job? Who said taking the trash out is a man's job? I know physically men are stronger. Maybe you can carry heavier trash bag. Not me in my house. Don't fill that trash bag till it's overflowing. And I have to have a workout taking the trash from the kitchen to outside on the patio. But this thing about men, the masculinity and understanding what is a male man, whether you call alpha male, beta male, sigma male. Now, Thursday at 8:00, we're going to chop it up a little bit more. I got a guest that's going to be on the Motivate podcast show. We're going to chop up a little bit this idea of masculinity. What is masculinity? And what's most important to me is, what does the Bible say about masculinity? What does God say about masculinity? And so I'm really passionate about, having conversation with younger men about, being a man. What does that mean? When I was younger growing up, and I would fall and I would get hurt, my dad would say, stop crying, be a man. What does that mean? What you're teaching me is that when I'm hurt, I shouldn't cry, but I should keep it all inside. That's what you're teaching me. Suck it up, boys, suck it up. Suck it up, stop crying, right? And so I'm looking back on that, and there's a level of empathy and sensitivity that men avoid. Why is that? Because another man may look at that as being softer, being weak. Something I do with my son. My son is 33 years old. When I see him, I dap him up. What's up, bro? Give him a hug, kiss him on the head. That's what I do. And it's not weird. It's not inappropriate. It is a genuine love from a father to his son. That's my dude. That's my guy. And I'm creating a legacy for that guy. And I'm creating a legacy, an enterprise, the Williams enterprise for that guy, right? I love that guy. So, but it's looked at as soft. And I'm telling you guys, a man who keeps it inside eventually is going to erupt and explode on the outside. You keep it inside long enough. I want you to visualize this. Visualize it. Here we go. I got it. I want you to visualize this. Visualize that you're in a swimming pool right now, and you have maybe 8-inch diameter or 12-inch diameter beach balls, and you're in a pool. And so you got a beach ball, and I tell you that this beach ball is pain or trauma that has happened to you as a man. And I want you to hold it underwater. And then you have another event of pain or trauma. And I tell you, hold it underwater. And a third event happens to you. It's pain or it's trauma. And I tell you, hold it under the water. Eventually, you're going to run out of arms. You're going to run out of energy trying to balance and keep all of these beach balls underwater. And that's the same way it is when we keep it inside. And then we erupt and we go crazy, or we're in a society or in a relationship where I'm told I'm no good. You're just like you're no good daddy. My mom told me that when I was young and growing up. And yes, it hurt. It's very painful. My parents went through a divorce when I was 10 years old. And my mom would tell me, you're just like your dad. You just like your dad. And I'm thinking as a young kid, okay, you didn't like dad. You guys separated. You got divorced. Maybe mom, you don't like me. And it created this self-negative image in me that years later, thank God that I was in a place where I embraced the value of therapy and having someone help me unpack my thoughts and these experiences that I experienced as a young man growing up. Barbershop wisdom wasn't the best wisdom for me. Locker room wisdom as it relates to girls and dating wasn't the best wisdom for me. It wasn't until I got to a point where I got around a model of men that were modeling the behavior. And they wasn't just talking about it, they were about it. So don't talk about it, be about it to me. Right. And so we're unpacking this thing as it relates to masculinity, alpha male, beta male, sigma male, and then this simp male. I'm going to have fun with that one. But I'm passionate about getting information, helping young men be successful in life. I've had many successes in my life. I had some challenges as well. You know, I'm married to my wife and I. We've been married for 35 years. It'll be 36 years in 2025 that I've been married to the same woman, never stepped outside of the marriage. Did we have some tough times? Absolutely. Do we have some challenging times? Absolutely. Here's what I discovered and I've learned from it, is that marriage can be made easy, but it's going to take some work. And that's where I believe the idea of doing the work for relationships. Now, guys, hear me. Hear me good. I'm not saying that you should be in a relationship long term where there is abuse, because abuse isn't only physical, it's verbal. If you're in a relationship and that person cannot value you or doesn't see your potential. Now, value and potential. You got to have value, and you have to have, then a person has to see your potential. I have to have value, and then I need a person to see my potential. And that's going to change or dictate the way the person interacts with me. Our language will locate us. Language will locate you. Language will locate you. What you say out of your mouth, is usually something that's in your heart. And so we try to shape these conversations. You know, my wife and I, we are directors in our church in the Marriage Made Easy ministry, Marriage Made Easy. Apostle Mike and Dr. Dee Freeman, Spirit Faith City Central in the DC metro area. Listen, if you're within a 300-mile radius of Washington, DC, come check us out. Come see us. I would love to connect with you. And so my wife and I were the directors of the area of ministry. And so we have a team of marriage advisors that when their premarital or marital advisory support service that needs to be done, our team does that. And so we have an opportunity to engage with people, have conversations, get ideas. Here's scenarios on what men are facing in their relationship, what women are facing in their relationship. And I'm just saying, man, that if I'm going to be a husband, I'm just talking to married men right now. If I'm going to be a husband successfully, the power to fulfill is based on my ability to define it. I cannot fulfill something that I haven't properly defined. And if I jump into a marriage, if I jump into a relationship and I haven't properly defined it, then I cannot successfully obtain the things, get the results.
The relationship has. The power to define is the power or the ability to fulfill. Chop it up on this week, man in the mirror, um, going through alpha male masculinity, beta, sigma, the simp. We're going to have a conversation about it because I'm really, really interested in hearing the way that this culture thinks, how young men think, and being able to give some positive information. You examine my life. You look at my Facebook page. Just go look for Richard Williams. I know Richard Williams is pretty common. I think my Facebook personal Facebook page is officially Rich Williams. You go to my Instagram account, officially Rich Williams. All of it is set on public. Why do I set it on public? Because the same guy behind the camera is the same guy. The same guy in front of the camera is the same guy behind the camera. The guy that's in front of the camera is talking about the power of leading, loving, and serving your wife. It's the same guy behind the camera that's not talking about it. I'm being about it. And it doesn't make me a weak man because I prioritize my wife in the relationship. Let me tell you something. There's no one, listen to me closely, friend. There's no one in my life today that has a higher value and position in my eyes than my wife. It's God, then it's my wife, and then it's everything else. Now, if you can't make that statement, it's cool. I'm not judging, but I'm saying it's possible. Dude, this guy, 35 years. Actually, we've been together 37 and a half years. We dated for 2.5 years. And then we decided we wanted to get married. And so we've been together 37 and a half years. And listen, this is old school music. You may not understand this, youngins. You may not understand this, young bull, but ain't no woman like the one I got. 35 years, man, in the game, 35 years married. And I love her more today than I did when I first met her. And that's simply because I've got some knowledge. I've got some information. I consistently acted on principles. And let me tell you, friend, principles will work for anybody, anywhere, anytime. So I hope that you found some value in this conversation, friend. Thursday, 8 o'clock, we're starting the series in the month of January, The Man in the Mirror. I hope that you join us. Amen. On the Motivate Podcast Show, we always say less, but we definitely want to believe for more. Let's get it. I'll see you soon.